What is going on, ladies and gentle nerds? Welcome back to the Gaming Nerd Live. I am your host, the Gaming Nerd, and tonight I thought we'd revisit an old topic, something we've done before, but not something we've done recently, and something that's always very, very useful. We're going to go over some controllers. I've got sketched in front of me, I've got a reactor controller, a door controller, and a charge controller, all of which should make your Baro trauma life, at least, much, much easier. Let's get into it, shall we? So, we're going to start off with just a standard run-of-the-mill Typhon. And everything I'm about to do can be done in a campaign without mods. No sub-editor necessary, although it's a slightly bit trickier when you have to go get the bits and pieces for everything. So let's start with the reactor controller. This is our good old friend, the 5-component controller. Turns out that with the recent, well, not so recent, but the changes made by the mods, the PID controller and the Bang Bang controller no longer work very effectively. However, this reactor controller, the 5-component one, is an oldie but a goodie, and it has proven itself quite useful. So here's how I would do it. You need 2 memory blocks, spaced out a little bit more than that. You're going to want to switch. And you're going to need a relay here or over here. Doesn't matter. You need a divide component here. Need 2 divide components. There you go. And a multiply component. And some wires that I'm going to go through here in a second. Personally, it's just for aesthetic purposes. I'm going to make this light a little, or these switches a little bit bigger. The switches have an internal light that's red and green, so as long as you don't make the lights too bright in this room, you should be able to tell whether it's running or not. Okay, so how do you wire this thing? Well, first of all, we have to take this one here. We're going to make this one 75. I'm not going to explain the math because honestly I don't fully understand the math. However, I know it works. So I'll explain the numbers. Okay, this one in particular is a bit of a trick because you need to take the maximum reactor output divided by 100. Now, if your engineer has buzzing, the talent upgrade, that's another 10%. If you have any efficiency upgrades, quote-unquote efficiency upgrades from the shipyard, those are another 3% each. And this is on top of the baseline values found on, if you go to Baro Trauma, the Baro Trauma wiki, if I can pull it up here. I think if I just go reactors, actually on the, yeah. If you go to nuclear reactors on the Baro Trauma wiki, you'll find at the bottom of the page, there's a list of all the vanilla submarines and their maximum reactor output at when purchased. So Typhon 2 is 5,200. So we want to take that 5,200 divided by 100, which means we have 52. And we're going to pipe this into, I believe, the bottom of this. I might get this one wrong, so we're going to check this one out. Okay. The 75. I write this down. Give me 1 second here, guys. No, I didn't. All right. Well, we'll find out. The hard way or the easy way, either way, we'll find out. Sorry, I thought it was more organized. I thought I was ready. I was not. Okay, here we go. Okay. So I do believe we're going to do 75 divided by the fuel out. So this is the heat potential coming out, the combined heat potential of your fuel rods, which we're going to call green, right? So if you've got 4 uranium rods, those are going to be 320 total, right? Because those are 80 heat potential apiece. This one, you're going to connect to the load out. Brown's fine. Yeah, white's fine. Okay. This one is going to go to the load out signal of your reactor over here, load value out. All right, and then, hang on, let's move this one, this thing here. Okay. We're going to take the output of this component, this divide component here. We're going to put that in the top. We're going to take the output of this divide component here. We're going to take that. We're going to put that in the bottom. And then we're going to take this here, the output of this multiply component. I'm going to pipe it into signal in 1. Now, for both of these divide components, you want to clamp them from 100 to 0 in both cases. Right, this is very important. Otherwise, you get one hell of a runaway reactor. Okay, so this is going to go to our set fission rate. I think I call this one orange, green, whatever, it doesn't matter. As long as you know what the colors mean, doesn't matter what colors you use. And then this signal itself, without before multiplication, we're going to hook it up to our set turbine output. And of course, we're going to put the whole thing on a switch, because if we wire this incorrectly, or if something goes wrong and we want to turn this off, you don't want to have to go wiring into the reactor when it's on fire, or so on and so forth. You just put this in here into set state, and Bob's your uncle. Let's take a look at it before and after. Let's do, hang on, we need to put a little switch in here, which is something that's going to put a whole bunch of load on the reactor. Actually, no, let's just see time to start up. We'll do time to start up as our initial test. So save. Controllers. $50-50, this works. First try, come on. On stream, come on. Okay. Oh wait, she's one level up, so we gotta go. Put a fuel rod in here. Power on. Automatic. Let's see how long this takes. 1,000. 2 1,000. 3 1,000. 4 1,000. $19 seconds to load matching. All right. Now, let's shut her down. And we'll do the same thing again, this time with the 5-component controller engaged. Ready? And 1,000. 2 1,000. 3 1,000. 4 1,000. 5 1,000. 6 1,000. 7 1,000. 10 seconds. Almost half. And its load following performance is pretty damn good, if I do say so myself. I still have the interest at the end of the stream, we'll go check that out again. However, for now, let's move on to charge controller. Oh, by the way, shout out to Ironic and Dead for showing me this reactor. We all know the 5-component controller in advance, but he's the one that brought it to my attention that this controller is still useful. Certainly beats the hell out of the Bang Bang. Bang Bang controller does nothing useful right now. Okay, now charge controller. This one shout out goes to Mr. Werewolf, who showed this one to me. Actually, no, we kind of came up on this one together on the Discord channel. He did most of the legwork. I just talked a lot, which is what I'm good at. So stick to what you're good at. Okay, so we're going to take 2 memory blocks. And we're going to take a multiply. Actually, I'm going to do this way. Multiply and subtract. And, okay. I don't care about waypoints. Don't show me waypoints. Waypoints. Okay. Care about your controllers. So this one, we're going to put a 5 into this, in this value here. And on this one, we're going to put 100. And then we're going to take the charge percentage out. I'm going to feed it over into the bottom of this, I believe. Yeah, it makes sense. and put the memory block into the top of it, and go over here, put this into the multiple. It doesn't matter. Multiplication's commutative, so it doesn't matter which port we put it in. And then we take this out and we put this into the set charge rate. Now, in this case, I don't think you really need to put a switch on it. I'm going to, just so you guys, well, the clever thing about this charge controller is that it basically, anything less than 80%, and it's 100% charge rate. But once it gets up above 80%, it lowers the charge rate proportionately as it gets to 100, so the load on the supercapacitors diminished significantly. So what we're going to do is we're going to I'll put this thing on a switch again, put this on a relay again. Where's my relay? Here's my relay. And then we're going to plug this here, into here, out to here, put it into charge rate. We're not going to do a relay in like the actual deployment. I would just use those 4 components as I've shown. All right, and we're going to say set state here, and let's for demonstration purposes, let's give him some more railgun loaders to choose from here. Fun fact, railgun loaders don't use electricity. So, I'll just run over here, turn on the reactor controller, put some fuel rods in, turn her on, and switch to the captain. Look how fast those lights come on. Okay, now keep an eye on the power bar at the bottom. Hang on, I should have probably let that charge up. Notice that when you go above 70 or 80, the supercapacitor starts taking damage. So you want to stay below that red line whenever you can. However, when you're firing at a list of Molochs, it's more interesting to keep firing. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now we're below the power level. Now we can fire 1 more. I think 5. 5. There we go. And now we're out. Okay. Now put this charge controller and watch what happens to that slider as it approaches 100%. Once it gets to 80, right, it starts going down pretty quick, and it doesn't look like it's charging very quickly. But if you see, look at that power bar at the bottom of the screen. Like it basically, you can keep firing almost indefinitely, but it's not the power that gives out, it's the condition of the supercapacitor. Because while it's in that range that it's 80 and above, or sorry, less than 80%, it's charging fast enough to do damage to the supercapacitor. However, I did about 30 or 40 shots with the railgun continuously before I damaged the supercapacitor to the point that it needed to be repaired. So, that's our charge controller. Last but not least is a door controller. I love these things. They're extremely useful. You don't realize how useful until you start putting them around your sub. One thing you need to know is that you want to have them controlled with water detectors, because it's no fun to not be able to close a door when you're walking around your submarine. So I'm putting these guys over here. Usually you want one on either side. So I'll put one over here. I have to move these because they don't look very low. That one has one on this side, but not one on this side. And there's one over here that we can. So basically you need one on each side of a door. These two have doors. There's one on each side of this door, one on each side of this door. That's a okay, we can put one here, and there's one on this side. I think that's it. Oh, there might be one in medbay. Nope. Oh, over here we need one. Water detector here, and there's one on this side we can use. Okay. It's actually important how you line these guys up. You want the bottom of their sprite to be flush with the floor. And when I say flush, I mean like exactly flush. If it's too low, it'll trigger late. And if it's too high, it won't. It will. Depends on what direction you're testing it, I suppose. There you go. That one, yeah, needs to go up a few more. Oh, we need one in here. One there. We got a couple more we got to do, and then we're good. And start laying some logic components down. Okay. And one here. Okay. So for each one of these door controllers, I'm gonna set these up to the to one side of the door. Let's say the right, and then we know it's there, and then we can just move everything one click to the right. It should fix. Should hide everything nice and pretty like behind the doors. Accidentally moves that one in there prematurely. All right. There's that other door component here. Here. Here and here. I think that's it. Okay, then we need an and that should be it for components. The rest is just wiring. And. How are my headphones dying this soon? Harman Kardon, I'm disappointed. Okay. So here's how it's gonna work. We want these water sensors to prevent this this system from opening. We're gonna come back and move the wires, pretty up the wires later. So we're just gonna do this. So what that means is that not only do we have to have it connected to both sides of the ship, but we need to invert the signal coming out of the OR component so that when it's true, it's a false, right? So when the sensors do detect a condition, the signal coming out of the OR block is a false, because then we can combine this one and this one. Now, if you see the hitbox that comes up there when I hover over the door up here, that's actually a motion sensor that's hidden in every auto-closing door in Baro Trauma. So we can take advantage of that. And we can just go here and say, put our heads in the sand, I suppose. Okay. And that's door one. Oh, I forgot to wire it to the... Now, hang on. So we want a true and a false output for the OR component, but not under any circumstances in the Y, or in the AND. Because, see, this is fine. Output, false output. Leave it blank. Because if you put a 0 there, you will not be able to open the door when there's water, which is generally a bad thing. Usually, when there's water in a compartment, it tends to make people want to leave. Go figure. Hang on here. I gotta plug in my headphones before they die, even though nobody's here and nobody's chatting. This is going to be a good video that people will watch later. So I'm not worried that there's nobody in chat right now. All right. Signal detector going in. Oh, yeah. Here. Signal 1. Signal 2 into the AND component here. The other AND component comes out of this motion. There it is. Motion sensor. This goes into the set state of the door. Yes, because when you walk up to it, you want it to open, which was a 1 in a set state signal. So yeah, it works. Okay. Ta-da! Nice hidden door controller. All right, let's go to the top and work our way down. Otherwise, I'm gonna get all confused. Okay. A little far, but it should work. All right, we need to make this a 0. 0 and a 1. And component with the signal from the motion sensor above. If you build it, they will come. Good movie, man. Long time ago. Wow. Guess I should test some of these doors before I go wiring up the whole thing. Nah. Who tests things anymore? Shit. Make it go straight to deployment. Like, look at those, oh, I don't know. I had a specific example and then I forgot it. Okay, yeah, coming over here, we gotta steal from this water detector. It's an open space, it's not a problem. This has got to be inverted. And then this one goes to the champion up here. The output goes to set state, I believe. Oops. Don't get that background, just the blocks. Okay. Let's do a quick check to make sure these doors are working properly. Save. Okay, something didn't happen there. Zero one. I must have put it in the wrong outlet. Okay, hang on. Where's my electrical? That's weird. Motion detector or component. Oh, it's not connected to the door. That's the problem. Oh my goodness, I don't have any wires. Alright, well, let's see what the captain can do with those doors upstairs. No, they're not working. And I forgot my screwdriver. Alright, here, electrical. Why is this one not hooked up? I thought I had to put a screwdriver around here. Okay, hang on. Okay. This one should go. Except this guy's in the way. There you go. Stay up there. There we go. Super useful door controllers. As long as you get the distance right and the spacing on the water detectors, you can run around the ship with 0 pauses to open doors. However, because there's an interrupt triggered by the water sensors, you won't walk into a wall of water the next time you have a flood on your ship. If the door doesn't open, probably a good sign that there's water on the other side of that door. Alright guys, that's a nice short and sweet one. We have a reactor controller, we have a charge controller, and we have a door controller. If you guys have any comments, questions, jokes, concerns, criticisms, or witty comments, please do not hesitate to leave them in the comment section. I'll see if I can remember to put an invite to the Discord channel up there too. In the meantime, ladies and gentlemen, please don't forget to stay nerdy. Have a good night, folks.